For effective project cost control management, guided by the compass of budget allocation. Think of budget allocation as a lifeblood of project finances, a bit like an engine in a well-oiled machine. It is all about smartly diving up the money to make sure a project not only thrives but also stays financially responsible. In the world of project management, where big dreams meet challenges, but allocation is like the glue holding it all together. It's a bridge between what we want to achieve and how we are make it happen without breaking the bank. As we journey going towards, we will dive into the nitty-gritty of budget allocation, from how it helps us to deal with the unexpected hiccups using management reserves, to understanding the different part of the budgets. We will also see how we strike that balance of our goals and looking after our pennies and pounds, especially when dealing with the complex projects. Here, the case study number 3, budget allocation. Before going to that, let us go through the background of the project, what we are taking for a case study. The bottom of detailed deliverable cost estimates were prepared by control account manager when the project was at the proposal stage. The submitted cost estimate to commercial building construction was approved, and the project is being awarded with the same proposed budget. Sponsor decided to put aside 15% of the total contract price, which is AED 10,085, approximately 1 million. For managing the unidentified risk, such as scope changes, he is going to make his reserved budget for the project. Whether any unidentified risk occurs, the project management team has to get the approval from the project sponsor to use the management reserve. As if here the project sponsor, we are talking about all about the client side. Now, our assignment. The original bottom-up estimate is reconciled according to the approved WBS structure, as shown below. A copy of the estimate is attached for your reference. Here, the WBS, what we have already created with the commercial building and the project manager 1, 2, and the law consultant, which we are not going to discuss this session. Now, since a portion of the budget is put aside by the management, you need to reallocate the budget and provide the cost account manager with their new budget to manage the control the scope, control their scope of the work. Reallocate the budget and determine the following. The overall PMB budget that will be used for measuring the monitoring the project cost performance for the CPI. The revised budget allocated for each project manager. The revised budget to each work package and the major deliverables. Now, the organization chart we already discussed about how the organization and what are the important resources we are going to use in terms of manpower we are going to use for this project. Now you see level 1, we have here the project manager 1, 2, and a law consultant, which we are not going to discuss now. And the level 2, what we have here provided here, under the project manager 1, we have project engineer, civil manager, and of course architect. Because these 3 people is directly going to report to the project manager 1. And apart from that, the level 3, what we have given the detailed resource requirements, such as for the project engineer one, civil supervisor and safety officer. So under the level 4, we can say civil supervisor have, civil works and separately machine operators. So these are the additional resource, more resources according to the activity requirement that is already we have incorporated into the budgetary resource loading. Now coming to civil manager, there is one civil engineer is reporting. And apart from that, architect, we have interior designer as well as associate architect. Now under the interior designer, there is a general supervisor, and there are 3 different disciplines that are going to report: glazier, painter, as well as the carpenter. So these are the team they are going to report the general supervisors. Glazier means we can see more number of, there are some fabricators, assembler. So many things, so many people will come accommodate. These are also elaborated in the resource loading and the Primora, what we are going to discuss later. And coming to the mechanical, the project manager 2, we have security for the, this is specifically for the MEP works. One is a mechanical manager as well as for the electrical manager. A mechanical manager has two team members. One is a senior mechanical engineer and a mechanical design engineer. He will used to work for the methodology workshops. The actual, the drawing submissions and all he will support, especially the construction drawings and all, how they're going to execute in the field. Coming to the electrical manager, we have a senior electrical engineer as well as a design electrical design engineer. So this is what the OBS already discussed. Now coming to the WBS with the activity coding. So we have already completely given the full activity listing that is already there in the Primavera. So apart from that, we are going to here just trying to explain how the levels are going more. How we are breaking the levels. For example, here the level 1, we are calling it as a milestone. This is all the fine 7, 8 level 1 WBS. Milestone, planning, design, drawings, approval before commencement, construction, mechanical, electrical, interior and exterior, and finally the approval for construction. These are all the level 1, and accordingly the furthermore activity has been listed under the different levels. So here this for as far as what our case study is concerned, we have created the 8 milestones for the to measure the progress eventually. And coming to the planning and design part, there is architectural programming and schematic plans, mainly the drawing issues and all. And of course, initially they are going to create the schematics, and then they move into the drawings. Then architectural, structural, mechanical plans, and electrical plans. And of course, the approval before the commencement. So here the approval before commencement is fully dependent on approval part, which has been approved by the client or the client engineer. And coming to the construction, we have the different deliverables list. And of course, anyway, this project is going to give, for execution part, we are going to depend on the third party construction team. And even though we are going to, we have to align with our own resources, we have divided in such a way: marking, grading, excavation, concreting, brick masonry, flooring, and roofing. This is how the major segregation we have created. But if you go into the level 4 or level 5, maybe the activity listing will be, accordingly it will move around. We are not going to discuss this. And coming to mechanical and electrical part, we have plumbing, welding, and electrical. And in the interior and exterior WBS, we have the 3 activities: glazing, carpentry, and painting. Approval after construction, which is final as-built drawings and all. completion certificate, power, water, and sewerage certificates, occupancy certificate, etc. This is how the WBS with the activity listing has been broken for the level 3. We are not discussing about the level 4 or level 5. This is only for the conceptual understanding purpose of the our aim. Our objective is to understand the concept. This is what. And coming to the deliverable cost estimate, this is a very interesting part now, as far as how this is all the deliverable cost estimate part is going to convert into PMB budget and all. We will see in the forthcoming sessions. Now, very approximately, we have made some summary level. Here, the total project cost, cost is around 72 million, 7.2 million totally. Apart from that, we have divided into 3 categories here. Project labor cost, and then project non-labor cost, and of course, material cost. These are the 3 major divisions, or we have incorporated in our schedule, also in our resources. That's how we are going to start our control accounts and the control account, how we are going to do the PMB budgets. So now totally out of which that there are 1 million is reserved for the profit. The profit for the revenue for the particular project, and therefore the total budget cost is 8 million, approximately 8.3 million. So this is how now. Furthermore, we are going to do the case study on this based only.